No Nick?
where?
No, because he's got a meeting till 9 o'clock.
What's up, YouTube? We're just having some hurricane
Is
banter.
that Sarah?
No, I was gonna ask where you were, but now
Right
you
by
probably don't want all
right
of
by
YouTube to know.
Horizon.
So are you in a flood zone over there?
We didn't
Yeah,
get flooded for Ian, so no.
that
Okay.
south shift brought bigger winds to you guys.
Like,
Well, Port Orange is like an awful flood area.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we had our street flooded for Ian, but our house didn't get water in it. So, I think we'll be
Don't
fine.
forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. Did you welcome YouTube? That's
I
my
did.
cat.
Yeah, I did. I welcome YouTube saying we're having some hurricane banter.
Yeah, a little hurricane
A
banter.
little hurricane banter.
Yeah.
Nothing serious like the hurricane. Dude, the hurricane's
this is
it's gonna be
this
so
is a-
bad.
This is a bad one.
It's gonna be really bad
It's a
They're
little bit of
saying
rain.
This is a record
for the West Coast anyway.
breaking hurricane, which I don't understand because this is going to make landfall as a 3, and stronger storms have hit land before.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with that and everything to do with the storm surge.
Yeah.
Because they're like the wind
luckily-
isn't the problem; it's the storm surge, which is going to
Right.
reach like 9 to 13 feet in some areas, which is insane.
Yeah. Luckily, because hang on, because sorry, I'm getting work text. Because it shifted south and it's not going right into Tampa Bay like it was going to, that's actually better. So the storm surge may not be as high. Because like Tampa Bay, it was just gonna all trap all that water there.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
When is it supposed to hit Tampa Bay? What time?
About like what, 1
Tomorrow.
a.m. Thursday? No, it's gonna hit. Yeah, about 1 a.m. Thursday.
Oh, so I thought it was tomorrow. I thought it was like in the afternoon tomorrow.
It was going to be, and it's changed.
It's right off the
Ah.
coast tomorrow night at 8. They're probably gonna start. I mean, they'll
Yeah.
start feeling it tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, we'll start feeling. Yeah,
for
it
sure.
was supposed to hit tomorrow morning.
Mhm.
At like 8 a.m. But it, kept slowing down. But also it took a wider turn, which slowed down the arrival. But yeah, we'll start feeling it. That's when the eye makes landfall. It's all the other shit, the northeast quadrant, that we're gonna start feeling. They'll start feeling tomorrow morning.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
start-
that's what I was wondering. So it's gonna hit tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll start feeling winds for us. We'll start feeling some winds, not the major
Yeah.
winds, in the middle of the day. Like when we close down, I'll be driving through right before the worst.
Do you get an immigrant to put shutters on your windows?
Yes.
That's what I
No,
figured.
we don't do that because most of the houses here are hurricane rated. Like the windows are hurricane rated.
Oh, okay. So that makes a difference.
I want windows like that so bad so I can just watch the hurricane.
Yeah, thank God I have a rich wife. But like the places that wouldn't, like the older communities and all that, like on the coast,
Yeah.
there's no point in boarding their windows because the board will be the only thing left. of
Right.
their
The house is just
like-
going to be in the middle of the Atlantic soon anyway.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
On a lighter note, did you guys get your McDonald's Crocs?
No.
No.
My kids did get one each.
They're great. Tomorrow for dinner, me and Emily are getting the Krabby Patty meals from Wendy's.
What is that?
Oh, dude. Wendy's did a collab with SpongeBob. They have Krabby Patties.
Does yours have the SpongeBob drive-through also?
I hope so.
Did you see that?
No. I thought you
So
meant the
there was-
packaging.
I showed Lewis the video today. They had a full inflatable SpongeBob drive-through with all the
Oh.
characters. It was a whole setup with a bubble machine.
Oh,
Like-
no. Mine definitely does not have
Oh,
that. I
yeah.
drove by today. There was a line, though. There was a line.
Really?
Yeah, there was a line. I'm really excited for it.
There were lines for gas here.
Yeah, dude. We have lines for Krabby Patties up here.
Listen, I tried to avoid all the drama today with gas, and somehow even being patient and polite ended up in the middle of drama for gas. So.
I got very lucky, Sarah. I was off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I saw this thing developing, and I told Rachel on Sunday, I said, I'm very worried about this one. So Sunday We restocked our hurricane kits, batteries, flashlights, got gas, cash. Like we did everything on Sunday, so we've been good.
Well,
But you
I
drive
mean,
so far.
that's the thing. I drive 60 miles round trip to
Yeah.
work. Lewis drives just under 200 miles round trip to work
Yep.
every day.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
yeah,
Lewis drives 200 miles round trip to work?
he drives an hour and a half to work. Yes.
I thought you guys.
Because
moved
he works in
closer.
Orlando, right?
No, he is in Ponte Vedra, so just south of Jacksonville.
Oh wow.
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
that's a whole nother story. But basically, yes. So it doesn't matter if we get
200
gas
miles?
on Sunday. Yeah.
Chris, this is a restaurant thing. You got
Are you tracking those gas bills? Like you tracking those
restaurant
miles?
people?
$800 last month just in gas, if that's what you're asking.
I'm disappointed in the Jew in you, by the way.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I have to pay my bills.
He's got to relocate it. You got to relocate him.
Ride a bike.
I'm all blurry.
Chris, this is
yeah.
restaurant people. We will, like, I lived by Universal and I was driving to Sanford, so that's like almost to Sarah's. We drive ridiculous.
Those were two references that I still
I know,
don't,
I know.
don't
I
understand.
realized that. It was essentially an hour drive.
Jeez, I do understand that reference.
Yeah, there you go. But Orlando is 45 minutes away from Orlando because of I-4. You brought me one beer.
Listen, he drives from the middle of the state to the top of the state. I'll put it that
Yeah.
way. Every day, up
That's
and then
nuts.
back down.
Crazy. But that's restaurant people. We've all driven.
Are you allowed to call
far
them
for
that?
jobs. What
I
restaurant?
find it
people?
a little
Yeah.
offensive because I know that he's, a step
he-
above me in
Is he
the.
looking for a new
grand
podcast to listen
scheme.
to? I've heard of a good one called Disneyverse. You should give it a go.
What's that? All right.
I'm
let's go
gonna
ahead.
now that you got a beer, I'm gonna have to go grab a beer.
You had time to prepare.
Yeah, but then you put out a beer. I think we were doing beers tonight. You usually don't drink
I
during the
figured it's like-
podcast.
It's the last.
I know, so
What?
now I gotta get some beers. So you gotta give
Yeah,
me a
all right.
second.
I had.
I don't know. I just finished the White Claw. Now I gotta get a beer.
Alex, the audio clips that I play, you've been able to just pull them off of Riverside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Nick sent me some stuff, and I can either email it to you or just have you pull it off of here.
Yeah. I pull up Riverside. It sounds pretty good usually.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
I don't have any music per intros.
I'm gonna play "Move I'm Gay" on this. Yeah, I know. I noticed that like when because Chris does the intro on like Cliff's Notes and Jersey Man. I noticed that's not in there, so
Yeah.
I just add it, which is not a big deal. I can add it.
I usually leave a little gap.
Dude, now Captivate, which is where I upload the episode, has all of these AI features. So I can have it come up with the episode description. I can have it come up with the title of the episode.
Wow.
It's freaking amazing.
If you pay a little more money, I'll edit the podcast.
Yeah, $5 a month now. Oh, you pay you $5? Oh, I got you.
No, I'm saying if you pay things will edit the podcast for you. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's insane.
Chris, did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
So Captivate came up with a bunch of new features for
Uh-huh.
an additional $5 a month.
Right.
Once I upload the episode, AI will generate a title and the
Oh, no
description of the
shit.
episode.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
So I played around with it a little bit for last episode, and I'm gonna.
How
continue
was
doing
it?
It was okay.
Yeah, because
It
I
was
feel
okay.
like
it didn't come up with the title that I wanted.
I don't think
like,
it ever will because it's never going to be like the edgy title that you want.
And I'm okay with that because
yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
Looking at the episode description, I'll remember something. Oh, I could do this.
Yeah. You know what I
And-
used to do? Go ahead.
If something really obvious happens in the episode, I've been writing it down, like a line of coke with Lance Bass or JoJo Siwa, my Lord and Savior. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just kind of.
You know what I did for Disneyverse before was I copied, because since there's show notes, I copied all the show notes and I posted in a chat GPT and I said generate a podcast description for this, and it worked nice. But we don't really have the luxury of that because we don't have show notes.
I accidentally put the Riverside link in Discord.
I think Dane texted me. Speaking of,
No, I didn't. No, that's the YouTube link.
Is tonight the show where you're going to have anybody on? That's next week, right?
No,
Scott?
that's next week.
all right. Well, I think Dane's in here, so Dane next week,
That's gonna be fun to edit.
Dane can't be in here.
huh?
No, he's in the YouTube chat. room.
YouTube
Oh
chat.
yeah.
We could be because you posted the Riverside link, but
I didn't. I posted the
Uh,
YouTube link.
what was I gonna say? Did Dane tell you about any news today?
No, I feel terrible. We've been trying to get together to do a Patreon episode
Mhm.
for him for since his trip back from California, and either I've just been exhausted or getting ready for a hurricane.
Dane told me some news that I'm gonna have him announce because I don't want to announce it, but it's really cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, really cool. It has to do with his movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Kind of crazy too. Like if this was something that you could do, you would do it.
Dane, do you
Um,
want to wait? Then wait. Do you want to announce that next week when everybody's on, or are you
It's not-
wanting to announce that?
I just
sooner?
want him. I just kind of want him to tell it because I don't want to.
Yeah,
you know,
of
but
course.
it's nothing time sensitive.
Okay.
I mean, it's nothing. It actually has nothing to do with us. It has to do with
No,
people.
I get it, I get it.
No. You like you'll understand when he talks about it. But
Okay.
it has nothing to do with anything except for people near him. But that's okay.
Okay.
But I just
Gotcha.
don't want to be the person that announces it. I want him to.
Okay. Fair. Okay.
You know, let me just say it. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Jesus.
You know what? F it.
Oh, I don't know what we're talking about. We're gonna wing
Good.
this.
Good.
We're gonna just wing it.
Just look at it.
I have quite a work story.
Oh, cool. We're not really talking about that tonight, but that's fine. I'm just
Yeah, anything but that, Alex.
kidding. All right, 3, 2, 1. Like the guy said, we're the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. Voted #1 by our friends and family. Now you can connect with us. All of our social media links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise and join our clubhouse. For as low as $2 a month, that's our Patreon. Become a friend with benefits. You can get exclusive content like cutting room floor, different prizes, and whatnot. It's only $2 a month. Also, we are live almost every single Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube, where we record this thing live. You get to see everything, the cutting room floor, the behind-the-scenes footage, all that good stuff. And then sometimes we go live on TikTok on Wednesday mornings from the Orlando theme parks. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, as always, my amazing cast of characters, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
Life is No, what if I just sang the whole song again like last week?
That was really fun. I spit out my drink several times while editing. The Jewish American princess, Sarah.
Hello.
Nick has a work meeting. And our producer, Alex,
Hello, hello, hello.
who is actually with us
Whoa!
in the studio today.
I'm
Jump
actually
scare.
here.
Jump
I
scare.
did not edit in my voice. I'm actually live.
Actually live.
You're
Or
just
is
doing
he?
this to make your job easier.
No.
Is he
Now I
though?
gotta listen to everything over again.
So, okay, this is a lot of crazy things are happening right now. We were supposed to be recording what was like the cast only last episode of No New Friends on Wednesday, Wednesday, October 9th. But here we are. We're recording a day early because we are in the path of Hurricane Milton.
It's
me,
Hurricane Milton.
We is subjective. We is pretty strong language.
When I say
You.
we, me,
Your people,
definitely, and
yeah.
then Sarah and Alex are also
Yeah, your people
in
are.
line. So we don't know if we're going to have power tomorrow night. I'm going to be working tomorrow night. So we don't know if we don't knock out this episode now, we don't know when this episode's going to knock out. So this will still be our last opportunity as a cast to discuss the podcast. Unfortunately, Nick couldn't be with us tonight because we did have to shift recording to today, and he had a work thing. But next week, so when you're hearing this in a couple days, October 16th, join our Discord. We're going to be putting a public link to our recording. You can jump on, ask us questions, share your favorite moment of your favorite No New Friends podcast episode, because starting October 23rd, No New Friends podcast is no longer a thing. We will be Parents' Night Out with No New Friends. So super excited about that. We've got a lot going on. But of the four of us, Chris, you and I have been here the longest out of
Yeah,
the five
have.
active members. You came on May of 2021, episode
Sounds about right.
22.
Really? 2021?
Pretty crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Like Chris has been on more episodes than the original co-host, but that happened very quickly.
It did.
Yeah.
It happen.
Thank you for the sympathy.
Yeah.
laugh.
No,
Chris,
it was good.
What was your favorite moment?
When Mary was fired. Probably. I'm just
Stop
kidding.
it! Stop.
My
Look towards
fa-
the future, not the past.
My favorite. Oh, we have to predict something in the future. My favorite moment of the podcast. This is gonna sound cheesy. Probably gonna sound cheesy, but I the four of us. I like when the four of us hit our groove, and I don't know if I could pinpoint an episode or a specific time, but when it was me, you, Sarah, and Nick, and we just hit that groove, and it's just like every week I look forward to doing this. There's no burnout. There's no I got to jump on. It's just I'm hanging out with my three of my closest friends, talking, laughing, and hopefully making other people laugh too. That's my favorite part of No New Friends, is making 3 new friends.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
For me, for you, okay, my favorite moment, and I agree. Look, it's so funny because the four of us never knew each other
No.
prior to 2021. I knew Sarah's husband, but I didn't know Sarah.
Right.
I didn't know Nick. I definitely didn't know you. And so it's funny how the four of us came together and how, like, I feel like the four of us know our deepest, darkest, like things that are like real things that are going on in life.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy to think that 3 years ago or 4 years ago we didn't know each other.
And you know what's funny is like I've had late night FaceTime calls with Nick where we just start talking and we're on the phone for a while. I've talked with Sarah for a long time before. Scott tries to contact me on a weekly basis. We do talk every once in a while. But it's like it's these look, Nick's planning my sister's wedding essentially now. Like it's like all of these
you
things.
stayed at my house before we ever met in person.
I know. It's all of these things
Alex
would never
stayed at my
happened.
house the first time
That
we
is
met in
true.
person.
That is true.
True.
None of this would have happened without this podcast, and for that I will
Right.
be forever grateful for. It's it is the coolest thing that's ever happened. Like it's just the fact like you really got to take a step back from us hopping on a computer and doing this every week. If we have 3 views a week, if we have 3 million views a week, the feeling will always be the same, where it's just hopping on with 3 of my best friends talking about life together, navigating life together, and then having other people laugh at our struggles and then also our triumphs, whatever they may be. The community that we have been able to build has been amazing. The people that join the chat every week, the people that talk on our Discord, the people that we genuinely care about because of just because you had an idea of starting this podcast. I think that's the coolest thing. It's the friends we made along the way and the community that we've built and continue to build, really.
Yeah, it is a super cool thing. And when I think about what you're saying, laugh at us for our stumbles, but celebrate our triumphs. Man, especially if you're in our Discord, we all give each other so much shit from our members to our friends to the host and all that. Like it is a constant shit talk. But then when something good happens, these are the people that I want to share that with first because they're going to be the first to genuinely celebrate that.
Absolutely.
Or when something bad happens, they're the first to say, "Hey, let me know if you need anything. I'm so sorry."
100%. Yep.
Which is that's insane. All the cheesy stuff aside, your favorite show moment, Chris?
All right, my favorite show moment, cheesy thing aside, is probably those nights where I drink too much, and in all honesty, and just don't take anything serious and have zero filter whatsoever. The introduction of Cliff Notes, which we talked about before, so I don't want to go on and on about that. The introduction of Cliff Notes, you getting me to do that segment. I love comedy, and I love writing jokes. So being able to do that every single week, having this outlet to be able to do that was, that Father's Day episode, probably my favorite moment, because I was able to showcase that to an extent, and then you saying, "Hey, let's try this," and we did it, and now it's a staple in the show. That's probably overall my favorite. But yeah, they do get a lot better the more that I drink.
Yeah, that was definitely a key moment for you. It's funny you mentioned your drinking. To me, your coming out party, and not in the same way that Nick comes out,
Right.
but your really stepping out of your shell was episode 100
With
And I don't
James
know-
Yon, yeah.
with James Yon, and I don't know what it was that made you click, but you just came out of your shell and hit kind of a whole new level, which was cool to see. My favorite moment, the first Bubba Job,
Ah.
or do they know it's Christmas?
Do they know it's Christmas? Amazing. Bubba Job he became a mascot of the podcast. We did a whole
Yeah,
series on Twitch about him. Winning the Super Bowl with Bubba Job was another
Oh
top
my
moment
God,
for me.
I forgot, and that was right around the time that that was actually our Super Bowl was Sarah's second. Well, it would have been her second episode, but she decided to eat an empanada from a food truck.
Right, yeah.
That's my favorite part of all of this, is that I'll never live down one trip to a food truck.
Well, Sarah, it's funny that you mentioned that. We'll get to your favorite moment, but Chris brought up a good point when him and I did an episode of After Dark where it was like we recapped the last 50 episodes, and this podcast is essentially like a time capsule of our life.
Absolutely. Yeah. Perfect way to put it.
Because you put it that way, so like that's what
That's
you
probably
call
one of
it.
the, well, After Dark, I was like into my like 6th or 7th beer, so.
Well, yeah, and I definitely remember having to have a conversation with you, like we're gonna have to put you on a pitch count.
I do remember that.
With your
Yeah.
drinking.
I did
because-
ignore it.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it was the first week. It was either the We Say Gay episode or Nick's coming out. I was like, I gotta put him on a pitch count because like he's better when he drinks, but also this was a little bit much.
I have like 3 words that I say when I'm that heavily drinking, and that's what the episode. 90% of me just saying the same 3 things over and over again.
Right. But like Sarah, both you and Chris with moving into new homes, Chris was going through the house buying process and then announcing to everybody that he was having a baby and kind of going through that. But you've had some key moments, the empanada,
What-
food truck gate.
Yeah, that's it doesn't quite compare to your baby, Chris, but it is something to be proud of. I suppose. It's a moment in time worth
It's up
mentioning.
there.
One of my favorite things, you've had so many dynamite drops. Like you could say one thing the entire episode, but that one thing will be the funniest thing of the entire episode. And I feel like so many things that you have said have made it into the episode title because they're
I
just so
appreciate
good.
that, actually, I
or
have
you've-
my moments sometimes.
You're amazing. Or you've delivered the punchline that makes the cold open at the beginning of the episode, which I love that because you're a lot of times the star of that.
Well, thank you guys.
What and besides the friendships and all that, what has been your favorite moment on air? What's been your favorite on air moment?
So, I maybe would have had a different answer, but was it the last episode with Nick's like Q and Gay, with the 2 of you going back and forth had me dying.
The game
honestly.
show. The game
I mean,
show.
I think it could go under either, right?
It could.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Yeah, I go both ways.
See, there you go. But
Truly, and
I
good.
Well, no, I was just gonna say that was definitely hilarious for me, but not to be. I was gonna agree with you though and be cliche, but I have to say that since I've joined the podcast, not to be creepy, guys, but you guys come up in conversation like on the daily, just things that we talk about, things that we, like, oh, in the podcast we talked about this, or
Yeah.
we talk about things in the chat that just might resonate with something I'm talking about at work or so, but I find that you guys are definitely a part of just every day for me. It's not just once a week.
Absolutely. Yeah, you
so-
are all household names in the Yob household
Yeah.
for sure.
Yes.
A classic Sarah moment for me, and probably an underrated moment, was a couple weeks ago when your delivery of some of your lines when we were discussing whether or not women can come, and the way that you delivered your Scott, I'm so sorry, just had me rolling.
You know, the thing is, and I've told you this before, just in passing, that it's very hard for me to exaggerate things.
Right.
If something seems exaggerated, it just actually happened that way. So there are moments that I can really resonate with things, and unfortunately, they really do, come out exactly the way I'm thinking. So I have my moments, but unfortunately none exaggerated. They're all very realistic.
We can't forget your chorizo joke.
That was a great
See,
one.
like something like that. It was just funny to me because you guys were cracking up about it. And
So
and you
funny.
guys kept referencing it, and I had to listen back to the episode like, what the hell are they talking about that I said that was so funny? And it was something I say every day to my husband. Like every day. So I had to listen back. I'm like, what in the world did I say that had them in stitches?
Yeah. And then speaking of stitches, of course, your hand,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
the podcast gods smile on us.
I was so
quite a
minor, I
bit.
forgot about it. I didn't-
Like the timing of that hand injury perfectly coincided when we were sick and tired of hearing Chris talk about his Achilles injury. And that fight between the two of you, I think, is one of those classic moments of this podcast.
But please don't hurt yourself again, Chris, because it really did hurt to stab myself with the spindle, and I don't want to compete with you again for a little while at least.
Yeah, not planning on it for sure. Not planning on it.
But your first big moment, and this is the moment, besides hearing you on that one episode of Nerd Archive podcast, but with your first episode with us, and it was you and Don't Wreck Yourself, Ryan, and
Oh yeah.
you dropped a joke about the strip clubs in Daytona Beach and the bongos. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but at that moment, I think Chris and I had this telepathic, like, okay, we're good. Like she needs to be on this every week. Just because of that one line. So funny.
Yeah, and for me it was
Well-
more of wow, I guess Scott was right, because Scott was like, hey, you gotta listen to this episode of Nerd Archive podcast, you gotta hear this girl. I want to have her on the podcast. And I listened to it like 6 times because I was like, thought I listened to the wrong episode. I was like, I think she talked like for a total of 90 seconds, Scott. Scott just got that talent. He just knows. All he needs to hear is like 45 seconds.
Yeah, that's
I
all I need.
appreciate you having that talent, though, because I
Thank
love
you.
being
That's-
here.
Really all I'm good for, unfortunately.
That's the best you can do in less than a minute.
Yeah. Alex, you have a unique perspective because you get to edit this every week.
Yeah.
We've kind of talked about your favorite moments is when we say, Alex, cut that, and you're not sure if you should cut it or not, and you have to go back and listen. Or we'll say, Alex, cut that, and then we'll keep talking, and then 3 minutes later, I'm like, Alex, actually, don't cut that. Leave that in, and then you have to undo.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite moment? God, I sound like a narcissist. Like, oh, tell me about us.
Yeah, what's
Like,
your favorite thing I've ever said?
Well, first, I was so happy to be able to edit the podcast because I already listened to it. So I don't know if you know you lost a listener that day.
I know.
Scott was pretty pissed about that.
I know.
You
And
lost a
listen,
listener because now I listen to it raw, uncut, and
Ooh.
do the editing.
Like a non-Jewish
And,
baby.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the cut that was getting annoying at first because I was like, at first it was like, all right. Originally it was Alex cut that, and that was real. That was it.
Yeah.
Then it became a joke, And then I wasn't sure if it was a joke. And Chris can attest. I had to text him multiple
He
nights.
would message me
like,
every single
Chris,
time.
am I cutting
yeah.
or not cutting? What is
Yeah.
happening? And now it's to the point where I can tell if I should or should not cut things based on what is exactly said. So it's a lot easier now, but it took a little bit to get into that groove of knowing. I love editing Sarah's audio because I can cut out so much at once. But then, I have that one
Is
little
that just
area.
a dead silence?
Dead silence for so long. And then I know, Sarah's coming up. She's going to speak for a little bit. And I know it's always going to be good.
I have to tell myself sometimes that I have to audibly laugh because I actually am a silent laugher, and so I'll see myself on the screen laughing, and then I'm like, they're never gonna see that, so
Yeah.
make it
It's so
make it
funny.
audible.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, sometimes
Me
I got to be
too.
like, wait, did Sarah laugh? I got to turn that up. I got to make sure people hear that she actually vocalized her laughter there.
So here's some peeling behind the curtain or moving the curtain or
Yeah,
whatever.
that sounds about right.
So one of the very first episodes that Alex edited, something happened with the audio where someone's audio didn't cut. Something happened. I don't remember what it was, but essentially, Alex had sent me the finished thing, but it was missing someone's audio. So he had to go through and give me the timestamps, and it was like Sarah's.
Oh, that was a few weeks in. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he had to give me the timestamps of every time of when I needed to put in a Sarah laugh, a Sarah saying something, and I had to manually
my God.
put in Sarah's audio to where it belonged.
I'll just
Yeah,
send
that's
you a
rough.
laugh track if you want. Just like a different styles of
That'd be great.
anywhere
I'd be like,
from like
you know what?
a
Sarah would
chuckle-
laugh at this. And then,
Yeah. From a
That's a
chuckle
really
to
good
like
idea.
a boisterous laugh, and just you pick the range that you feel fits perfectly and go from there.
sounds great.
It's not a bad
It's such-
idea.
It's
Just
such a
watch
good
the
idea,
video
Sarah.
and you'll see when I am actually laughing, and then it'll be
I
legitimate.
have cut laughter and put it somewhere else because I thought it didn't fit where it was.
Like this
And
was
then
a
I'll
way
be
funnier
like-
joke.
And I'm
It
like,
deserved
you
it.
know what? You know what? The laughter they did was like too far back, so I have to bring it up. So I was like, oh, I'll just use laughter later on and reuse it.
Alex, I have a question for you. What's one editing decision or thing that you did in the episode that you never told Scott about that maybe you would have felt bad about, or just did something that you look back on like, I shouldn't have done that, but I'm not going to say anything? Was there ever a moment like that?
I don't know. I'm not really, because I try not to cut anything that isn't obviously need to be cut. Because I know
Yeah.
Scott wants to have very last say on how the edit is edited.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh,
like
really?
yeah. Well, I mean, just what I think, because he doesn't tell me to edit anything other than just make it cleaner.
Right.
And which did I do? I don't like rearrange anything or anything like that. So not really, other than me having an issue because I tried to do it 1.5 speed editing to make it faster on myself, and then when I got done editing, I was like, "Oh no, I can't export this. It's 1.5 speed." Which I listen to my podcast at 1.25 speed. I can tell you on my app. I mean, I've listened to the podcast and I've saved like days of my life by listening to it at that speed. So when I editing, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome. I can listen to it a little faster and get it done a little earlier." And then when I got done, I was like, "Oh, I can't undo it, and it all stays the same."
You know, funny
That's-
story about that is that the sophisticated gentleman had to come up with an equation to
Yes.
figure out how to convert
Yes.
the 1.25 speed podcast back to regular speed.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. It worked out because I was able to do it, but yeah,
That's really
he did do that.
No, Alex has done a really good job with like he'll message me asking me a question or he does something a little bit different. He's like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" There was definitely more questions at the beginning, but now it's just kind of a seamless process. And there's a lot of times when I'll make notes within the episode where I'm like, "Alex, move this here," and he does it flawlessly.
Mhm.
Now, one thing that I don't even know if he knows, but there have been some editing mishaps that like. Sometimes if it's like a big thing and I need him to redo it, I'll tell him, but a lot of times I just fix it. Like where it'll be missing an entire section of someone's audio. And it's like not a very long one, but just a minute. And I'm like, well, I'll just go pull this off Riverside. Or it cuts off the end of the episode. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'll just cut it off. But I have anxiety about telling him that like, hey, you made a mistake. I'm like, I'll just fix it. No big
Now
deal.
Yeah.
it's out there.
Yeah,
I get mad when
right.
people tell me mistakes. I'm not laid back at all.
The best, yeah, right. The best is when because Alex also edits into the Disneyverse. The best is when Alex leaves in like a curse word on into the
Not even a real
Disneyverse.
curse word.
Well, it was a real curse word to you. Wasn't it like bullshit or something?
Yeah, and I was like, and
Real curse word.
Sophisticated Gentleman was like, "Oh my God, Alex left in the curse word," and someone said the F word during that episode, and I had to cut it out. And I thought I left it in, and we posted it, but it was only bullshit. And I was like, "Wait, what? That's fine." And they're like, "No, it's not fine." I was like, "Really?" And then I had to fix it on like a Monday evening and re-upload the episode.
Oh yeah.
I like Alex's the little Easter eggs that he'll put into an episode.
best.
Where maybe he'll respond to something very quickly. Like sometimes you don't even realize. Like when I was talking about Ding Dong Ditch and it being called N-word knocking.
Yes,
And,
yeah.
That was insane.
and Chris says, "What?" And then you hear Alex go, "What?"
Because like it's so annoying because I'll be editing these podcasts and I'll be like, "Oh my God, what?" And I'll say something and I'll be like, "Oh man, I should like send Scott information about like how I feel about this, what they're talking about."
Well,
I get so into it.
I love when you do that. I love when you put your own little touch on some things and put your own little voiceover in there, because I think it's really funny and it's really good, and especially like fact checking us. And like I was under the impression that we weren't going to be fact checked on this podcast.
Well, I'll do it more often. And then when the episode comes out, and every 2 seconds I'm speaking.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours long. I thought we got this episode done like an hour and a half. That's crazy.
You know, speaking of Sarah's laugh track or moving laughs around, so I don't know if I told anybody this, but one of the first episodes of After Dark that we did, when I decided that I'm going to do Scott's summaries. So one of them, it just wasn't very good. They weren't very good. And I'm like, well, I sound like an idiot. So I just found Nick and Chris's laughs throughout the episode. And I found 3 different laughs that I put together in different ways after each joke, just so I could make myself seem funny.
That's funny. That's funny.
Now we can finally tell you we knew. It was very
Well, yeah.
unorganic.
Yeah, I know. You know what's funny is in chat, and Don't Wreck Yourself, Ryan is notorious for this. You know, he'll listen to an episode, you know, a week later or whatever, but then he'll start making comments about things that we said, and I don't remember what we said.
Yeah, it's
And
always
I'm
very
like,
confusing.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But I love that. I love
That's great.
referencing that kind of stuff.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Like he'll say something and I just don't respond because I'm not comfortable. He's like, I should remember this because I was probably the one that said it. If you talked about something about arguing about science or something like that, I was like, I have no idea.
He's like, I almost threw something across
Yeah.
the room because both of you were wrong.
Yeah, I was like,
what?
I don't have the slightest clue of what you're talking
Nick
about.
and I have a good reason not to remember these things. But we apologize.
Yeah, when you guys bring up past things, I'm surprised how much you guys remember because I don't remember anything ever.
I always just pretend to agree with Scott. I was like, oh yeah, episode 167 when he said this. Like, oh, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. I used to,
Keep a diary.
you know, no, well, I do have a notebook that either I'm writing new ideas in or recapping an episode, but I used to edit the whole thing, and then when I uploaded it on the host, listen to the whole thing again to make sure it sounds right. Then I would listen to it in my car to make sure it sounds okay in the car before it gets published. So I have already now listened to an episode 3 times before it even publishes.
Wow.
And then once it comes out, I used to listen to it on YouTube, iHeart, and Apple. So I would listen to each episode 6 times.
That's
cannoli.
pre-crime.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Now I don't even listen to the edit. I'm like, Alex has this. I just need to find cliff notes
You
to put
just
the
say
music
I make
in.
mistakes all the time.
Well, and so But now what I do is I send Darren the advanced copy, and then I put it on for our select tiers of
There you
our
go.
Clubhouse.
Hey,
Yeah.
Darren, here's early release for you.
Darren's like, really? Early release? Sweet. He listens to it. You're like, any mistakes?
He was an early release. So,
I was early release too. I was a month and a half early.
oh no, I didn't pull out in time, Alex.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. People
Sorry,
sometimes
sorry,
don't
Darren.
plan their children, unlike me.
Sorry, Darren. But yeah, that's how I knew so much of what was in each episode. And
That would
I've
do it.
What's that?
I said that would do it, I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't
So
know
I
if
was
that's
able-
true. My wife tells me things 6 times and I don't remember it.
Oh, you've got the worst memory. The
It's really
absolute worst
bad.
memory.
It's
You and the
really
other
bad.
guy that used to host I don't remember his name.
Alex
He
is
had a
way
terrible
worse.
memory.
Alex,
Such bad memory.
Alex in our Disneyverse chat today forgot the name of a guest who's been on
I'm
twice.
bad with names. I'm bad.
And
She hasn't, she hasn't been in Disneyverse twice.
And that's a Patreon member.
I mean, that doesn't.
And she doesn't
I'm
listen to
bad
the
with
podcast.
names. I'm bad with names. I'm
She
sorry.
is. He's bad.
Terrible with names.
Bad with names, bad with song titles,
Oh, I'm
Uh,
terrible at
bad
retention
with,
of anything titles. Yes.
bad with memories.
He's great at editing.
So
though.
bad.
He's great at
So
editing.
bad.
Very
Just- I mean,
great at editing.
I tell my
Great-
wife, I said, I'm gonna have Alzheimer's. It runs in my family. I'm just getting it early, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you're getting Young's timers.
Yeah,
Um,
the lifetimers.
there you go. There you go.
I have a story to tell, but I don't know how to segue.
Well, tell me what it is, and I'll. cut off.
I went to urgent care
Okay.
Oh.
for the blood in my pee. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. Okay. I got it.
I can then share my story from last week.
There we go.
But back to the time capsule thing. Like we've been able to kind of encapsulate.
Yeah,
Incapitate.
sounds.
Yeah.
No?
I kind of want to
Encapsulate?
dig up a time capsule, Scott. Speaking
We
of
should do a time
yeah,
capsule, but
I do want
our
to dig.
lives and
I want to dig a time capsule up because I just realized that a few weeks ago I talked about how I had pee in my blood at my physical, a little speck of
Oh.
blood. And
interesting choice on the segue. I was going to go a different route.
oh
but
well,
hey,
you know what? Hey,
you do you, boo.
I need to address this. So I went and got it checked out. They said 2 weeks, and I was stressed about it, so I waited 4. Because that's
and
what
we
you
showed
should
so
do.
much concern, and we didn't
Yeah,
check on
yeah.
you.
You
at
were all telling me you gotta go, man. You
Completely-
gotta go.
You never
yeah.
told me. This is news. to
Completely
me.
You
forgot
heard
about
it
it.
on the edit, so I figured that
Get out of here.
you would ask me. So anyway, so
I
as at my
completely
physical,
forgot about it. Obviously, spoiler alert: I don't listen to the episode 6 times anymore.
yeah, I didn't forget about it because it's my infection from 2021 is back. Was it 21? I don't know. When did they get married
What?
again? When did they get married again?
2021.
Yeah. Oh,
Are we doing this again? We're going to debate when you got married.
Yeah, so I got the. Let me call my wife.
We-
She
we did
will
that in
ignore
episode
my call
200.
again. So I had that prostate infection. Remember, I got the finger stuck up. I got finger banged at the at the doctor.
Right.
before-
Didn't know you had a prostate infection. Just
Yeah, no,
heard that
did
there was
I
a little
did
bit of blood in your
did
urine.
talk. Well, so listen, so I had the same symptoms again. I was like, you know what? I bought that $550 chair before. I know it's not my chair this time, so I know it's the infection. So a little bit of cramping in the bladder.
Oh my
So I-
God, I forgot about the $550.
Oh yeah,
chair.
I did. I'm sitting on it right now. It's
You
great.
got
It's a great
chair
chair.
you're in right now is $550.
Plus tax.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah. Oh
Wait,
yeah.
What was the hold on? We have to
Okay,
revisit
so
that
just to
for a second.
revisit. So, for people who haven't listened or forgot, back in 2021, really bad pain in my groin area. So I was like, it's definitely from podcasting and playing video games in this $30 chair.
What else would it
So
be from?
my brother, exactly. So my brother-in-law, future brother-in-law now, he had this really nice Secret Labs chair, so which is what I'm sitting on right now, the Titan by Secret Labs, size small, and so I looked into it and I saw it was,
Kids large.
I saw it was $550. Like that's a lot of money. And then I saw it was like, but you could break it down into 4 payments. It's like
There you
okay,
go.
well now
Yeah.
it's not that expensive. So I
Yeah.
bought the chair.
That's how that works.
Came in, Sarah. Were you gonna say something, or you
No,
froze?
go ahead. No,
Okay.
no, go ahead.
Got the chair,
Came in, Nick.
and
Oh, sorry.
a month later, groin pain is still there, and now it's starting to other symptoms are starting to arise. That is definitely not chair related. So, burning while urination. That was
Using
the
STD.
symptoms. Yeah, and I knew it was an STD. It
And what
Are you sure?
What
Yeah.
Being, it ended up being something stupid, right?
was a prostate infection, which is basically a glorified UTI.
Oh, that's right. And then
Yeah,
then you had to do the process.
right.
was right
I got
before the
finger
Father's
banged,
Day
and then,
episode.
yeah. So
yeah.
which I just
So
learned
when
is
Chris
like
became a man.
when I am, which is I found it's just like a glorified, like a really glorified urinary tract infection. It's like a guy's urinary tract infection. So anyway, so starting to get the same symptoms.
Guys
like,
can get urinary tract infections.
yeah, but this one's advanced. This one's an advanced one. This is like a urinary tract infection plus. It's like
Just
the
drink cranberry juice.
I did, dude. I tried. I took so when I first started the feeling, I was like, I remember the urologist told me to just take ibuprofen and take baths, which was weird. I feel weird taking baths. I don't like sitting my naked ass on the bathtub.
Wait,
so-
what is a bat gonna do?
I don't
Did
know.
he tell you to videotape it and send it to him too?
It was a her. It was a her. And
Oh.
yes, actually. Why did you know
Okay.
that?
How have we not talked about baths before on this podcast?
I don't
Sorry
know.
to
No,
derail.
yeah,
We're
it's
about
okay.
to.
It's all right.
We're about to, yeah. So I've never understood the whole bath thing. Like, it looks super hot in the movies when the women do it. Sarah, do you bath?
It's
do
not.
bath?
It's not that. No.
No.
Not unless. Not, well.
Not unless she's a prostate
bathe,
infection.
yes. Bath, no. I suppose.
Okay.
Not unless I'm like really sick, and it's really not. I'm not bathing. It's more of a comfort thing.
Mm.
But okay, but exactly that. Like,
But
like-
very rarely. Very rarely.
nobody's going into the bathtub to take a bath and then
My
not jumping in
child.
the shower afterwards.
Right.
My child every
No,
night.
yeah.
Well, yes, children,
Children,
do.
yeah,
Yes,
it's
but like
acceptable.
as
Yeah,
adults, we're
but
not
is
going.
it still childlike when she sets up like charcuterie board and a candle and all of her face products and then has a bathrobe afterwards? Like, I don't know if that still classifies as a 10-year-old.
I mean, maybe not. But like I took my first adult bath probably within the last year.
Yeah, horrible, right?
Yeah, I'm just like, this is not sexy at all.
Nah.
Like, this is not what I've seen in the movies. Yes, Sarah.
Singularly, though, of course, you're alone.
Please, of course. Yes, of course.
Well,
I took a
I-
singular
listen,
bath.
I don't want to assume on your behalf, Scott.
That is true. They can't.
You just should. Just
I was
Scott can't
hopeful.
fit
I
another
was
human being
hopeful
in
for
there,
you.
Sarah. He can't fit another human being in there.
Well, I was gonna say, remember I told you wedding night we spent an evening in a jacuzzi tub with
Yeah.
champagne and Jurassic World, and that was a fantastic
Yeah, but
experience.
Scott said bath, not Olympic pool.
Listen,
not a
we have a-
jacuzzi.
We have a really big bathtub in our room, our bedroom.
I
For an
believe
average
it.
sized person, you're right.
Was there
So-
bubbles, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, it's got the jets. It's like a.
No,
it's
I'm
like
saying,
a really,
did you add bubbles?
Like
by
soap.
farting? No.
Come on, man. Soap
Or
bubbles.
bubble bath, soap bubbles.
Yes, bubble bath.
Yes, because I wanted it to be like in the movies where I could go like this and then I was exposed. And to those of you who are hearing the podcast and not seeing it, I rubbed my breasts.
Yeah.
I can only
Um,
see like you're looking over your wife and go, look what I could do. And you're like this, and she's like, nobody wants to see that. What are you doing?
You have no idea, Alex, how true you are. So I wanted it to be as sexy as possible. Like, I've seen this in the movies. I put on some Sports Center. Yes, I have a television in my bathroom. I laid in the tub. I got the bubbles. I added the bubbles. I got the bubble jets going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not hot at all. Like, why is there a penis in here?
Yeah.
That was not in the movies.
The fact you were doing that for yourself is alarming. Like,
I don't
like
think so.
you
I
wanted
used
to be
take
hot
baths
for
all the
yourself.
time in high school because it's a good thing after sports. Like after a basketball game, I'd go home and take a bath because I wanted to soak my soak in the bath.
That's why Scott does it when he walks up the steps. He needs to soak. He needs to rest the
Yes.
muscles.
Chris, you have no idea. When I walk upstairs, I'll lay down after walking upstairs, and Rachel's is like, "Are you okay?" because I'm out of breath. And she's like, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "I just walked upstairs."
Your
And,
your Apple Watch starting to suggest an EKG because it sees the elevated heart rate.
so I'm glad you brought that up. I actually don't wear my Apple Watch anymore because one day it gave me like a heart notification.
Yeah.
Like some rhythm is off. You should
Yeah.
probably get that checked out.
Mhm.
And I'm like, fake news. I haven't worn it since.
See, that's why
What?
that's exactly why I didn't go back to
Listen, if
urgent care.
I don't get the alerts, then I don't know that I'm having a heart attack.
This person's like
Oh my
This
God.
person's like, there's a speck of blood in your pee. I was like, a speck? That sounds like a user error to me. Then I started getting the symptoms. Like maybe I should go, and then I was forced to go by my significant other, aka my wife.
But you knew who it was.
So yeah, but I was like, I don't know. I always think I have cancer whenever something goes wrong.
That's
with
my
me.
wife does.
That's what
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
It's
I
always-
always think I'm on the verge
always-
of death.
She starts with cancer and works her way back. That's her method.
That's
Chris.
usually what I do.
My biggest fear in life is you getting cancer. I cannot lose you off this show.
I know, and that's why I didn't want to disappoint you, and that's why I
Thank
didn't
you.
go to urgent care. So I did finally
And
go to
thank you.
urgent care,
Uh-huh.
and I go to urgent care, and I explain to them. I'm telling them what to give me, and they complied. And they're like, "Yeah, I need this for this many days." I was like, that many days? Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's what I took before. So anyway, so I thought everything was good, and then she's like, "Do you mind if I just take a look down there?" I'm thinking, I was like, "What do I say? No?" It's like, "Yeah,
Guys.
sure."
Hello,
Whoa!
let me
What the?
shave.
What the?
Hey, can you hear me?
Whoa!
Hello?
Yeah. How'd you
Yeah.
get here?
Oh,
Wait, I thought you were in Jamaica.
I was at a Jamaica meeting, but in Columbus, Ohio. So not
Wow,
at
that was
Jamaica.
very misleading.
And I travel by map now, so I just got home really fast. And I don't know what you guys. Well, you guys were talking about bathtubs or something in the car. I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm here. I made it.
Okay.
Before I go on with my serious medical
sorry.
story, would you do you have a bath story for us, Nick?
I do have a bath story. That's why I was rushing home because I'm like, you guys are talking about bathtubs. I'm listening to this in the car, and if you want to listen while we,
and a dog
yeah,
on the way
I
home.
don't care. I felt a couple of bumps. And if you want to listen to it while we record live, I was listening on YouTube, guys. How cool is that?
Sweet.
Wow.
So I could listen while you were
I didn't know
recording.
you could do that.
Yeah, it's magic.
I mean, we say it every week.
You do say it. I don't know if you said it yet or not because I missed that
Probably.
part. Did you talk about a hurricane at all?
Not yet.
No, off it. Well,
No.
we said
Oh.
that the reason why our schedule's messed up is because of a hurricane, but we
Okay, so
breezed over it just like it's gonna.
back to the bathtub story. So
Back to bathtubs.
I feel like I'm under the consensus. None of you really are huge bath fans.
Not unless I have a prostate infection.
I like baths. I'm just don't have time to take a bath.
I am not.
I don't like
So
my
apparently-
ass in
Not
the tub
particularly.
thing. Like,
So it must be a gay thing then, because we love soaking in
It's
the
a gay
bathtub.
thing and a woman thing.
no, I don't like it, Nick.
Well, I like baths.
Selective
I
woman
like
thing.
them. I just don't have
But it's not-
time.
I mean,
So-
does anybody have time? Let's be honest.
So Alex, you'll set up the candles and the incense and all that.
Incest?
No, you
What?
just run water, and then you get in the warm water and wash yourself.
Are we just
hang
gonna
out.
breeze over the fact that Scott has incest in his bath?
Incense. So Alex, hold on. You draw yourself a bath, do the
I
bubbles,
have in the bath.
like wash yourself, and then you get out.
No, I just hang out. One
Oh,
time,
yeah.
one time in my early 20s, I set up my TV and I played video games while in the bath.
That's hot.
So
I play
okay,
with myself in the bath. But,
He plays with his own joystick.
yeah.
So, but what do you do in the bath now, Alex?
Now, I haven't had a bath in a long time. I'm just saying, Nick's saying no one here likes baths. I like baths. I just don't take them anymore. Maybe I'll
I don't know, I
revisit
just-
them soon.
For me, it's like I'm disgusted by how I look naked. I want to be in and out of the shower as quickly as
Oh
possible.
no,
and clothes back
I
on
like
as
looking
quickly as
myself
possible.
naked. I'm a big fan.
Really? Is that true?
Sarah, how do you feel about looking at yourself naked? I need to know from a woman's perspective.
Normally awesome. I've lost a lot of weight recently, unfortunately, so that, not as much lately, but we're working on it.
I would love to work on gaining weight.
I know.
And
I have
like
friends-
That's
I'd
a
love to
problem.
work towards that and be like,
It's-
I need
Yeah.
this.
It's actually so incredibly difficult for me.
I had a
I
friend.
can give you some
in middle
pointers.
school. The doctor was like, "You need to drink milkshakes at night," and I was like, "I hate you so much."
I could totally do that. I bet Steak and Shake's still open.
Oh,
She's
they
like,
are
"Fuck,
till
Electric
11.
Lewis shake
Well,
every
at least
night."
until tomorrow midday, they should be open. I'm just saying.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris and I can give you pointers. We'll help you gain some weight.
Please do, because I have got like 3 apps right now that I'm doing different things to try and gain weight.
I eat
so.
3 apps before dinner.
I think that's
I
yeah.
used to be able to do that.
You know, Sarah, it's funny. The last couple times I've been hanging, and I didn't want to be like weird. I was gonna ask you if you're working out and actively losing weight, and then I was
No,
gonna make fun of you
that
for trying to
was-
lose weight.
No, that was the choice to put ADHD under control. But unfortunately,
Ah,
medications have really awful side effects sometimes. So
well, damn! I need to develop ADHD and get. What's the name of your medicine? Just for a friend.
yeah, okay.
So Nick, what was a funny backstory you have?
Yeah, I was like, are we gonna get to me?
I was
Well,
almost I was almost
rushed.
there, and then Scott started talking.
We were just talking about how great we look without clothes. Continue, Nick.
Yes. So, I mean, I guess recently Sean and I shared a nice soaker tub in our suite in Mexico, and
Makes sense.
they drew a bath for us. But it's not like you're washing yourself in there. You're
They
just
drew a bath?
soaking. Our butler did.
Whoa, they come in. Did they see your penis? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did they see your peni?
Yeah, I think that's plural for. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think so.
I think you just call it a gangbang at that point.
Yeah, I
There's
think
multiple?
it's. I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, they drew a bath for us, but I feel like anytime we like to soak in the bathtub, and then that's when we get into freaky deaky time.
You mean freaky dicky time?
Maybe, yeah. All the dickies. Yeah, but we back up to another time that I took a trip.
Oh, he did a lot of backing up.
I sat in a soaker tub with 2 guys at the same time.
Really?
Yeah,
Big tubs.
It was a
Big
very
tub or
giant tub.
midgets?
No,
Wow, you
they-
can't say that.
I can. I can.
They're
We
they're
really need a
decent sized.
black guy on this show.
We do, and a lesbian,
And a midget.
and every.
Because then we can use all the slurs.
You use them anyway. I don't know why you.
Yeah, I said nothing's stopping you. Just Alex cutting that. At the So I like the bathtub. It turns me on. It makes me excited at nighttime. So it's a nice end of the day type thing to just chill out and get excited. And found 2 guys in Mexico at my resort that were like, "Hey, we got a bathtub. Do you want to join us?" So we literally sat in the bathtub for about an hour. Ordered room service. We had a lot to drink that night, and
Come. I'm
left
sorry.
us- and then there was a little bit of that.
I didn't even mean to say that. I just came out. No pun intended. No pun
That's
intended.
what she said.
No pun intended. Wow.
Well, he said it, in this
Yeah,
case,
sorry. That's what he said. That's what they
But-
both said.
but they both said it. Yeah, multiple times. It was a long night. It was a good night.
Nick went skiing that night.
I did.
Is that a thing?
Once, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've talked about this when you got the
Yeah.
2 peni in each hand.
Scott, can you put your hands in? Frame.
Yeah.
We can't see it in the frame.
Yeah.
or milking a cow?
We don't do that. No.
No.
But I did try to start a fire one time, but I think we talked about that. too.
Milking is its own thing.
Yeah.
I need to think. Oh, I get it. I get it.
Rubbing the 2 sticks together, Chris.
Yeah. I use a lighter usually and some lighter fluid. Anyway,
So
Back
blood
to
in
you,
your urine.
so back to my
Yeah,
speck
back
of
to your
blood.
blood.
Yeah. So I called bullshit, but
What?
the ball don't lie.
Okay.
Ball.
So the doctor
And this
says,
is balls.
who's a very young woman, by the way,
Oh.
is
How does that happen? I've never had a young woman doctor who does the
That's
the
'cause you're on a list.
examinations.
So she comes in and
then
she
you
does
came in.
she does the examination. Not she does the examination. She asks to do an examination. I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like, what am I gonna say? No.
Can I shave for a minute?
And then I was like, yeah, sure. And she peeks out the door and yells down, "Can I get a chaperone?" I was like, "Chaperone?
Well, yeah, she's a woman. You're a male.
What is?"
And she thought you were a kid.
What?
She's like, "Where's his parents?"
Yeah, and when no one came, she goes, "Isn't your parent down the hall?" No. So anyway, so a guy comes in and just stands there with his arms crossed like a bouncer, and he was wearing a Phillies hat. So I drop my pants, drop my underwear. She's looking around. I just look at the guy. I was like, "Yeah, so how about those Phillies?" Like, what am I supposed to do? And he didn't even look at me. He didn't even say anything. I guess the chaperone's just supposed to stare at the wall. What's the chaperone even doing there? What's the
She was looking
chaperone
the
even
opposite
doing?
direction?
Yeah, the chaperone was kind of being negligent. That woman could have done whatever she wanted to me. That chaperone wouldn't have even batted an
And I would have
eye.
let her.
He wasn't even paying attention.
He
So
should be
anyway,
like crouched down, leaning towards the game, like paying attention,
So you would think, right? You would think.
like coach on the sideline.
Yeah, like
If
the
I
old,
ever get a woman doctor to do those types of exams, I'm gonna say, is there a waiver that I don't need the chaperone because I'm good with that?
they were like, "Can I do the exam?" I said, "Can you give me 7 minutes?" so
You need a fluffer.
pull up the pants. Everything's good. And she leaves. She's like, "I'm going to prescribe you these antibiotics for the infection." And they leave. They come back in, and this other woman comes back in with a thing of paperwork. And she goes, now we don't want you playing basketball or doing any sports or anything while you're on this. And I was like, why?
like,
Antibiotics?
You do know that I ruptured my Achilles, right? Have
I
you
said-
not heard that?
So
story?
they asked me if I had any surgeries, and I said, "Well, funny, you should ask." And I played them episodes 112 through 135 of the No New Friends podcast.
Only a couple.
So I said, "Yeah, I had Achilles tendon repaired." So anyway, they come
6
back in.
After Darks.
So they're like, "Yeah, we don't want you playing any basketball." And I thought it was like a funny joke, like Achilles tendon joke, huh? And I was like, "Are you serious?" And she's like, "Yeah." One of the side effects of this antibiotic is Achilles tendonitis.
What?
Wait a second. Wait a second.
I was
Wait a
like,
second.
how?
Hold on. When you tore your Achilles, were you on this medication?
I was trying to think about that, and no, I was not. But I should say yes for content. No, I was not. But yeah, just my luck that I get this like hard to get infection, get put on a antibiotic for a month because it takes that long, and it
Wow.
causes Achilles tendonitis. So anyway, I was feeling really bad about myself, so I scheduled another appointment at urgent care next week to get the same exam done. Hopefully that'll clear my mind. Yeah, so I'm on this medicine for a month now. Can't drink alcohol while on it. I'm just kidding. I just said that
What?
because I'm downing beers over here. I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I didn't read the label. If you don't read the label, everything's fine. And
Exactly.
and yeah, so when that clears up, I'll be good for another couple years.
To play basketball or your penis?
Oh no, I will never be able to play basketball again. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. Yeah.
Well, Chris, I'm glad that it's not anything serious. It's just a little bit of an infection, and we're good.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. So, Nick, you missed the beginning of the show
I did.
where we talked about what was everybody's favorite moments of No New Friends since No New
I didn't hear
Friends
my
is
name
away.
mentioned really at all, besides a little bit from Sarah. But
Whoa,
I digress.
I mentioned you a ton.
I missed that.
I didn't
part, I'm
mention
sorry.
anybody by name. I said the four of us.
Oh,
really, you know.
I said Nick specifically twice.
I think
The
I only.
third time
I
in my
think I
head.
joined right when Sarah was telling her. part of
Okay.
the story,
Okay, that's
Oh,
why.
well, I
that's
already
why.
talked about you then.
I did go last as usual.
Nick
so
always
Yeah.
comes
I did
late.
miss.
They would have put me last and then Sarah before me, and so we're used to this
Yeah,
order.
we always
Scott.
put Nick
Go
on the
ahead.
bottom.
Listen. I usually go in the order that you started with this podcast, so I always go Chris first, then Sarah, then Nick, and
Actually,
then reverse order on the behalf of, or like, yeah.
I will say in the comments, I saw Daddy mentioned, and I know that was referring to you, Nick. So
Oh,
That's
oh,
true.
hey, who's calling me daddy now? Everybody.
that
think
that
I'll-
was Jaws.
That was your legal name.
But
Aw.
but I was gonna say that that specifically was for you, so you were missed.
Aw, thank you, everybody. I love being everybody's daddy. I'm just not a
So-
sugar daddy, though. Sorry, go ahead.
Nick, favorite moment of the podcast?
When I'm not here? No,
That's a good
No,
one.
just favorite
That's funny.
moment
I like
from.
that.
It could be from episode. Oh,
that was a joke.
now I get it. I don't like that. Alex, cut that.
don't,
I'm
don't.
already marking it on my paper.
I don't know. I love the After Dark just because we got to get serious, and I feel like that's where you found me and I found me, and Chris and I found our love for each other.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
it was nice being able to bring it onto the podcast now because I feel like the past probably few months now we've kind of brought in more mental health into these episodes, and I feel like that's where I specialize in because I'm on all the medications right now. Which thanks for asking about my psychiatrist appointment tomorrow.
Okay.
You
One,
should know my
didn't know you
schedule.
had a psychiatrist appointment.
should
I didn't
know.
even know.
Two,
Yeah.
in the middle of preparing for a Category 3 hurricane.
Oh, you're in the middle of the state. Crimea River. You actually could Crimea
Right.
River because they're going to get flooded.
Yeah.
I'll take that name though, Nick.
What'd you say, Sarah?
I said I'll take that name though.
I don't understand why you're not that busy. Let's be honest.
Okay.
There's nothing happening.
Nothing.
Yeah. I don't
Going
know. I
live.
just
I forgot Scott lived in Tampa Bay.
yeah.
It was like
Um,
45 minutes away from Tampa.
If you're driving like super fast, maybe
An
those
hour.
roads are not easy. Favorite part of yeah, I feel like the conversations that we have and just make it real conversations, but the fact that we can just laugh about the funny shit that happens in our lives.
Yeah.
Because we've
Yeah.
we've all been going through a lot lately, and it's like what a couple episodes ago when we were like had a conversation afterwards and hung out for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just building those friendships that we bring to the podcast and get to share our parts of the story now in our lives, and I don't know. I love the bond that we've formed. So there's no specific episode, I guess.
Great answer. Great answer.
Yeah.
And I am so super thankful.
And world peace.
And world.
Yeah, exactly. Especially that.
I'm so super thankful for all four of you. And when Darren's on, and what we talked about is that the fact that none of us knew each other 4 years ago, and how tight we all are now. And it's from a friend perspective, I'm super grateful for all of you, but also from just a pure comedy perspective, you guys are all geniuses, comedic geniuses in your own right, and I appreciate all of you, all four of you. Darren when he's here, Game Master Ryan, Sophisticated Gentleman, everybody that contributes to the show in different ways. I love it, and I'm so thankful for all of you. All right,
Yeah, and
Nick,
my
do you want me to just start playing? Oh,
I'd say my favorite part is actually when I sent you an audio clip for tonight because I knew I wasn't going to be on. And I was like, hey, can you play this audio clip? And I was waiting for the right moment, and you actually had a good moment earlier that I was waiting for you to transition. But you know what? Just play it. Hello.
What the
Hey,
fuck?
Hey, stop talking. Chris.
Sorry.
It's not about you. Actually, it's me. It's Nick. It's your emotional support gay. And listen, I'm sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but Scott insisted on recording tonight instead of our normal Wednesday night because of a hurricane. I don't really understand why he wanted to push it back, but unfortunately I wasn't able to make it tonight. So I decided, you know what? I've had enough of whatever you're talking about and move. I'm gay.
Nick's on the mic, so it's time to take notice. And if you don't like it, that's homophobic. Stay the hell out of his way. Move, I'm gay.
All right, so since I can't be there tonight, I figured we had a little fun last week playing a gay game. That stands for game, but gay. So let's play another gay. Tonight, let's talk about Grindr. So we talked about it in the past, and I know Chris is on Grindr all the time. I'm on Grindr. I have an open relationship. We get on there to make other friends and chat with other guys and do a little bit of flirting. So my question for you guys as a straight heterosexual, I don't really know. What are you guys? Anyways, as non-LGBTQ plus people, what would be a good pickup line for me to use?
Ooh.
If you give me a good pickup line, I might use it on my next hookup, and I'll let you know how it goes. So I expect really, really good responses here.
I have a perfect one.
Go for it.
My dick just died. Do you mind if I bury it in your ass?
I like that.
Okay.
A little dark and
Yeah.
All right. Alex, do you have a
It's like frisky fun.
pickup line?
I do not. I'm trying to think of something funny, but I cannot. think
Actually,
of
Alex
a
gave me
single
that
thing.
line. He told me that the first time I met him.
That's true. I did say that. It's something about. I was thinking about something about, I can see you inside of me, but I can't think of how that would transition.
How about
Are you an X-ray tech? Because I can see the inside of you. In me.
Are you a
How
doctor?
about-
Because you can fuck me in my ass.
Are you- I say to my doctor every time I see them. Actually,
how about I'm a vacation planner. When can I plan our next vacation?
it's like the
a
like,
little
how do you take?
strong,
That's like how do you take
Am
your
I trying
eggs in
to-
the morning? But
Are you trying to get me laid or just a client, or because it wasn't going to get me laid there?
Both. Okay, Sarah, your best pickup line for Nick.
Okay, I have a 12-year-old sitting behind me, so let me just
Scott's
let me
like,
just say
okay,
that, you know,
perfect.
personally, from my experience,
Scott's like, that's usually when I say my pickup lines.
turning my headphone down just in case. Listen, Nick, just choose a select few choice, I'll put it that way, Spanish words.
Okay.
A little extra roll in the R and just hope to God that works. It does every time, for the record.
Spoiler alert, it does. It
It
works.
does every time.
All right.
You ever just try
Do you-
sending a picture of your penis? And that's like what you that's what you lead with?
Well,
Like,
I'll
here,
let
let
you
me save
play.
us some time. Here's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Th-
Oops,
there's
sorry,
another-
wrong person, unless.
There's another
What I feel
clip
like?
that I want you to play with
Oh.
my response to what if I wasn't going to be here, which I didn't plan on being here. So this is fun doing it live.
Okay, here it is. Nick, I wonder what you think. Did you get any good ones from us?
So I can't wait to hear what you guys chose as a pickup line, because in the gay world, there really isn't much thing as a pickup line. We just kind of get straight to the point.
Yeah.
Usually I'll get messages like, hey, or are you looking? Or do you want to come over and I will lick your feet for money? Yeah, these are real things that have actually happened to us. So I appreciate your responses. Probably not going to use them. Maybe Chris's. I think his is probably pretty good. So anywho, I hope you guys have an amazing episode. I'm sorry I can't be there tonight. And just shout out and huge thoughts to everybody going through this tragic hurricane right now. Really my thoughts and prayers. And it's something that I don't really pray. We'll cut that out. Alex cut that. So anywho, hope you guys have a great episode, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, bitches.
See, I say hey, and I get blocked. It's weird.
Yeah, Grindr, you can just send a dick pic, and that just gets you anything you want at that point.
Is
Yeah.
that not part of just your initial photo album?
So
I would think that would just be like
yeah,
picture of you in Speedo, and then picture of just
Yeah,
one.
Grindr,
singular
you have your
appendage.
public pictures, and then you have your private ones. So you can just share the private album right away, and that's just
Your
basically like
secret stash.
yeah, it's like here's what I am, here's what I'm looking for.
I might have asked you this before, but is there a go-to position for nudes for you? Is the camera on the
Oh.
floor and you take the picture with your big toe? Is it then you get like the whole
I've not-
undercarriage. That's like when I'm inspecting a car, that I'm buying a car, like I want to see the undercarriage, right? So
So like the
Um,
taint.
sure, you get both, right?
I feel like he
Feet.
has a specific speedo pose, so there's got to be.
Yeah, I mean,
a
I have my
specific
new
grinder pose.
I have my new speedo pose with me in a pool in a picture, or with pizza.
Yeah. Emily
Um,
called that, by the way. I do want to.
Yeah, it's my new look. I feel.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. I do like the selfies where you're like holding it up and then angling it down. But now, I mean, now with the iPhone, you can like zoom out like 1,800 times. so it
Yeah,
makes-
yeah.
It might help make Scott look like micro size at that point, but
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to be too huge.
Scott look like Mr.
for such
Peanut.
thing. Yeah. Aw. With a little monocle.
No, I was talking about his penis.
Oh.
Anyway,
Yeah, I probably my go-to is more just like a selfie, but like cutting off the head. Well, the face, not the head.
oh, so
Keeping the
it's
head.
everything
that's,
else.
That's important. Yeah.
Do you hold it? Do you position it? Do you just let it hang?
Sometimes I'll do like the timer. I did the timer when I was in Mexico.
What does that
If you-
mean?
Where you set your phone up and you press like the 10-second timer.
Oh,
and
so
then
you do
run
like
and
a
get in
little
place.
You do like a little pose.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't keep it up that long.
The phone or your dick or both.
Well, actually, with Fuel Rod, your phone can let.
Scott's like, I need 30 seconds to catch my breath. Walking 5 feet.
I think there's a 30-second timer. It gives him time to get over there and catch his breath. Sorry, Scott.
Smoke a cigarette. Have a beer. He's gotta get prepared for it. Yeah, that's why my go-to one. Selfies or like I've not tried the toe trick. You're gonna have to teach me that tonight.
Yeah, yeah. When you opened up your FaceTime, you're just gonna see what the doctor at urgent care saw the other day. You won't get the chaperone view this time. You'll get the examiner's view,
Oh, can I be your chaperone next time?
of course.
Please. That'd be awesome.
It works. It works.
But you better not stare at the wall.
Chris, you got any cliff notes?
I do.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
Love you too, but all I care about is the comedy. We
Yeah,
can
like
each other
I'm
off
like,
air.
oh, I can't wait to be on the episode to have laughs. So, what was your favorite thing about the episodes?
But yeah, Chris goes, oh my, the friendships.
Sorry, I'm used to lying. Sarah was talking about how she needs to gain weight. Sarah, I have some advice for you. Try being prescribed Zoloft and then tearing your Achilles tendon. I heard that works really, really well. This is such a bad one. This is so bad. But I'm going to say it anyway. Nick said that he was rushing home. Actually, Biden just signed another executive order. Now you have to say you're Ukraine home. That was so stupid.
Oh my god.
It was so stupid.
Oh man.
Nick said that we have all been going through a lot lately, and I would tend to agree with that. Sarah, Nick, and I are all struggling with mental health. Scott's struggling with getting glasses. Thoughts and prayers to you, Scott.
I thought you were gonna say regular health.
Scott, you're starting to look normal with your glasses.
I know, it's
Like,
weird.
When I
Chris
first
said
saw
last week.
you,
Yeah.
when I first saw you, I was like, "Oh my god, who's that?" I was like, "Oh, that's Scott with glasses."
Yeah, if I take them off.
If he
now,
takes
I
them
look-
off,
I look
the
weird.
the examiner's. I pulled
Yeah,
down my
yeah.
pants, and the examiner's like, "Is that Scott Maffei?" And oh, never mind. It's just.
Do you have this now, Scott, where your wife goes, "You know what? I might prefer you with the glasses."
No, she'd prefer if I wasn't here.
Yeah, because I go, my wife's like, "I like you with glasses and a beard." I was like, "So you don't see it into my face?" Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry, Alex, but that's a true thing because Lewis actually broke his glasses one time and it was a very dark period. He's got them back now, so it's okay.
We only had sex 3 times a day instead of 4.
He trimmed his beard and then lost his glasses. I didn't know what to do with myself.
It was a dark period because Sarah required all the lights to be off in the house while that was how you look like that.
Well,
Nick said he gets messages on Grindr that say, "Can I lick your feet for money?" Nick, that wasn't Grinder. I texted you that, and I never asked for money.
Oh.
Never asked for a single penny from you. And lastly, we started off the podcast talking about favorite memories of the show. And in all honesty, not being cheesy or anything, my favorite episode is always going to be the next one. And that's because I haven't had to suffer through it yet. And those are my flip notes.
You can quit at any time, asshole.
No, I
But not
can't. I
Rachel,
really
please don't.
can't. No, I
you
can't.
can't.
No.
You can't.
Scott knows where I live. Actually, he doesn't, because
well,
if he did, he'd send me my damn package that he owes me from 2 years ago.
Have we ever talked about that on air?
I don't think so, because I didn't know the implications of said package. We could talk about it. We could pretend it was anything, though.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we really can't talk about that. That's why we haven't talked about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
And it's the funniest,
Alex?
and it's the funniest
Alex.
reason ever why we can't talk about it. It's nothing. It's like not illegal even in the slightest. It's just
No,
personal.
no. Yeah, I just bottom line, I was able to buy Chris some stuff that he didn't have access to, and I was able to
Exactly.
buy it.
That he didn't need.
And
And Scott probably has it sitting on his shelf. He's probably wearing the
it's
stuff. now.
sitting. It is sitting.
Yeah.
No, it's sitting in a
Yeah.
box.
And it'd be great to talk about because like I probably can't even fit into that stuff anymore.
well, we're talking about
So
it right now.
off here.
We're talking about it right now.
But for
It-
chat,
we're-
it's fine.
It's sitting in a box, waiting to be said. Chris sent me a shipping label.
Yeah.
Chris sent me the money.
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, I
It's
paid
just
Just
for
have
it.
to drop it off,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yes, but I'm too damn lazy to do
Yeah.
it. Look, okay, look,
Don't-
it takes me 6 months to send out prizes.
And not only did Scott, like Rachel messaged me asking about it. Like, she's like,
Yeah.
how could we get this to you?
And don't you have like 7 house cleaners that can like mail shit for you or something?
They're house
sure they
cleaners.
see
They're
it.
not
I
mail
would like
people.
the record
Well,
to
they walk.
reflect.
They probably have to clean it off every week.
I offered to be that person for Scott.
The delivery person?
The the
The m-
the,
Mail
the
dropper
person
offer?
who ships the stuff that never gets shipped.
I love shipping stuff.
Yeah, but Chris, you can't leave. Sorry.
No, I know. I understand. It's part of the contract. The
Yes,
life
Mr.
contract.
Scott.
There you go. That's it, right? I don't have anything
Yes,
else.
Jersey Man vs. Florida Man will be in the new show, Jaws. Nothing different will be in the new show except for the name and some sound bites and some visuals. Everything else is going to be exactly the same. It's really just
I'm
for
actually gonna be
searchability.
straight though.
Yeah, Nick. This whole
Oh,
gay
man, that'd
thing
be
was
funny.
a
That'd be
bit.
funny if you played off as a character.
Yeah.
For the first couple episodes.
Nick, it's a whole. It was a whole bit. He's gonna tear down that rainbow flag in the background. Surprise! Nick's a white nationalist.
But before we end this episode, and next week will be our final No New Friends, where we invite any listener who wants to come on, ask us questions, interact. It should be a fun time.
Should
I
be
will
fun to
put a
edit.
You're gonna love that one. It'll be there will be a public link in our Discord. You can go to nonewfriendspodcast.com and it pops up right there to join our Discord, and it's free.
We should call it the
Join.
No New Friends Orgy Goodbye.
We can do that.
It's a
We can
really
do
good
that.
idea.
But thank you to everyone.
And then the
who's been with
podcast can
us.
be called. I'm just kidding, I'm sorry.
Thank you to everyone who's been on this journey. We've talked several times. This has been a dream of mine, and we're not going away. Just this name is going away. This has been
Dead
a
to
dream
us.
it's dead to us. Except we're Parents Night Out with No New Friends. So No New
Oh.
Friends is not really going away. It's just the
It's
parent
semi-dead.
brand.
It's like when Lisa Marie Presley kept her dead son in her basement for 3 months. Look it up. That just came out today.
Oh. Or it's like when Anne Heche died, but not really.
That's a better reference. Alex
Yeah.
cut that one that I said.
Will do.
But this has been an amazing time. We're switching the name because it's just better for searchability and it makes sense. Nobody's searching adulting, people are searching parenting. They may not want to be parents after they listen to our episodes.
Right.
We'll see,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But to you guys, thank you for being part of this journey. It's been amazing. It's been so much fun. This is when we talk about the cheesy stuff, not at the beginning of the episode. Chris will
I
learn
apologize for
pacing
that.
at some point.
I'll
It's
learn how
okay.
to podcast one day.
One day.
Not today, though.
But no, I appreciate all of you. Alex, where can our listeners find you?
Just search up Disneyverse, DIZNEYVERSE, on all social media platforms as well as YouTube, and check us out.
Nick?
I'm sorry. Can we talk about the pussy in the room? That's being very.
I'm
angry
sorry.
tonight.
Oh,
There's a cat that's being. She is pissed.
I was gonna say I wasn't very mad at all tonight.
I have to record my football thing after this.
All right, you can find me probably on vacation because unfortunately I won't be here next week while you guys are recording. I'm actually going to be at something that I am super excited to be. We talked about it on the podcast. My travel agency, Sandpiper Vacations, we got earmarked this year, which is a huge reward to be recognized by Disney as a authorized Disney vacation planner now. And I'm going to be at my very first earmarked conference next week.
That's
Hopefully,
exciting.
if the castle is still standing. Yeah, so I'll be on vacation next week, but I'm very thankful for you for giving me this opportunity to not only talk about vacations but about my life and my journey, and I'm happy to be here with you guys. So go find me on Instagram at Emotional Support Gay Nick, as I'm going to be very emotional probably.
Sarah?
You can find me hopefully somewhere still in Central Florida in the next couple days.
Find me in the
but
Gulf of Mexico.
who knows? You can find me on the TikTok at SuperSarah94, and you can find me on Whatnot. Put that one out there.
Oh.
Yes, at the same username, Old Soul Thrift.
Chris?
You can find me in an insane asylum if the Phillies blow this series against the Mets. If they do not, even if they do, you can still find me in memoriam, post-mortem, at Christopher Yob, my legal name, on Whatnot. You can find me at Chris Yob, shorter, on Instagram. You can find me at Chris Yob NNF, which might be Chris Yob Pino pretty soon, on TikTok.
And on X, you can just find him, Chris Yob, and his social security number.
Yeah, I wanted to be creative. One of one.
And don't forget, next week, join us. We'd love to have you on here. Interact with us, ask questions. We'd love to have you here. For everybody who is recovering from Hurricane Milton, please be safe. You will get through this. Things are tough right now, but things will get better. We're thinking about you. Hell, we could be one of you. I don't know. Alex probably doesn't have a very sturdy house. Just my
What?
guess based on the plywood walls behind him.
Yeah, it doesn't look very
Um,
sturdy.
Looks very sus.
Hey man, what are you talking about? My house is up to code, I think.
From 1970s. Anyway, but be safe and thoughts and prayers. On behalf of, don't forget to
Very genuine.
join our Patreon, our Clubhouse, become a friend with benefits. Check out our website to connect with us on all social media, nonewfriendspodcast.com. And don't forget to give us a rating, 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple. On behalf of the Sophisticated Gentleman, Game Master Ryan, the Wise Man, Darren.com, our producer Alex, Nick, Sarah, Chris, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, bitches.
Couple things before we sign off here, YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, everybody, for watching the whole time. Everybody who's still here.
No,
Anyway.
Dane, you don't have to sign a waiver.
Also, Dane's big announcement that wasn't so much of a big announcement, apparently, was he's got like a trailer in his local movie theater playing for his showing.
No shit.
Yeah, he paid a certain amount of money, which was way too cheap for the movie theater to be asking, in my opinion. It's an insane price that he paid for the trailer for his movie that's being shown at a local college near him for the whole month before every single movie.
Wow.
During
awesome.
during the trailers.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
massive.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's huge, huge. Really happy for him. Really excited. I am going to ask for a pirated copy of the trailer. I want a theater cam of it. But anyway, there's that. Then there was something else. Oh, I want to talk about the hurricane. Imagine being taken out by a hurricane named Milton.
Yeah,
It's
this,
kinda- kind
the
of
hurricane name is
embarrassing.
terrible.
Kind of
So
embarrassing.
many great memes. though.
Yeah.
There's a
So many
Sarah
great
this
memes.
year.
Was there really?
Well, there's
there
not
will
yet.
be. Oh,
There-
they
well,
they
I
do
hope
them
it's
ahead of
not,
time.
But
Yeah, they have a list of the names like
Oh.
ahead of time.
Yeah, it
yeah,
comes
they
out
give
at
us
the
the whole
beginning.
alphabet.
They should have done Marvin. Marvin, little
it
more
may be-
menacing.
They don't
So-
repeat names though.
Marquise.
Yeah, they don't. So if it's retired,
Is
name,
Marvin a
basi-
name that's been
Don't
retired?
repeat names. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the shake
They-
ones.
So they well, they will repeat
exactly.
it if it wasn't retired, and it's retired based on how much damage it's done.
Mercedes.
Because like Helene was repeated, I think.
Yeah, so like we had Kyle or Kirk out in the ocean. Kirk did nothing,
so they'll do
we
it
may
again.
have a Kirk
yeah.
again in a couple years. But once Kirk makes landfall and does,
But
once
not
Kirk
Khan.
makes landfall, then it'll be retired. I think that's the thing is if once it makes landfall, it's retired.
I can't wait for a cool name like Katrina or something.
Listen, it's going to be bad.
It's
Oh,
Tampa.
here
It's
comes
very, very
Milton.
bad. It's gonna.
Here
it's
comes Mr.
okay,
Milton.
I
coming.
wrote-
yeah, no, it's
I
gonna be really
lived-
bad. I can't wait to watch the news during it. That's always the best coverage.
I
Being
was here
1,000
during
miles away.
Hurricane Charlie back in 2004.
Yeah.
And that was a category 2 as it came across
Mm-hmm.
Orlando, and we lost roofs, trees.
Was that a 2?
Yeah, it was a 2 as it crossed the state.
my God.
mm,
Yeah.
So this
That
is going
puts
to be
things in
very
perspective.
yeah.
Similar. Yeah, this is going to be very similar to Charlie. But Charlie, when it had more time over land to weaken by the time I got to Central Florida, whereas this one,
Straight
like
shot.
I am 2 counties over from Tampa.
Mhm.
Sarah's
like
3 counties
yeah,
over.
they're like 200 miles long, but
Well, I'm worried about when I get back to work. So,
Yeah, worst time to
We'll
move
see.
more inland.
well, I know. I thought about that too. Like the flattest of lands, I feel like we have tornadoes out here.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing. It's the tornadoes because
we get
Okay.
them bad.
so let's say we're only getting 85-mile-per-hour winds. I say only. That's a lot. It's the tornadoes.
wow,
So
Helene had 200 deaths. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. All right. So the storm is going like this.
And all those trailers in Polk County are gonna be.
oh,
right,
done. Polk
headed-
County's going to be nothing.
It's probably those trailers probably end up in your neighborhood. You're gonna have to
They may.
move,
They may. So it's essentially going like this.
and it's gonna strengthen over that lake above Orange County. Is that a lake or is that
That's Seminole County?
never mind. I thought it was water.
No,
And that's
County.
me. That's me right above that.
That's your address,
Yeah, and
Sarah. You
this
can't
is
give
where
that
Sarah's
out.
at.
right there.
You're right there. Don't give that out.
We're still on YouTube. It's
So I'm right here.
Mhm.
Sarah's right over here somewhere.
I didn't know the clan had territory there. I thought they were more in the Panhandle. Map of Florida on Amazon. Is this where you look up your maps on Amazon? You don't even need to Google
Right.
images.
You're like, I
You go
don't
to like,
know.
Amazon.
He pays $15 a month
Google
for-
Florida map.
Got this always Googling on Amazon. I'm sure they have a map of something on for here on sale. Why even buy these? You can just look at them on the.
Ugh.
See
Yeah,
that? See,
it's-
see how sad Florida looks? Like the shape of it. It's exactly what the
It's
Examiner
it's
saw
like a
at,
sad
at urgent care the
penis.
other day.
It's limp.
That's a sad
It's-
penis.
It
Oh,
looks like
dang.
an upside down.
It's exactly what the chaperone saw on his peripherals. Stop doing this. Why are these maps so good on it? I'm gonna start. Why is this map $70
I was just wondering.
plus shipping?
They're really good maps
It's
too.
Prime Day and they're charging $70 plus shipping.
It's really good.
And
They're really good maps.
It'll arrive between October 22nd and November 1st.
Oh, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to say. I bought something on Mercari the other day, which is an online marketplace, right? Bought something on Mercari on like Friday, right? Hasn't been shipped out yet. The guy messages me today on Tuesday and says, "Hey, just wanted to let you know I'm gonna try and ship it out tomorrow, but I live in Florida and there's a hurricane." I'm like, "Okay, what happened to Friday, Saturday, Monday, today?" So I just wrote back, "Thoughts and prayers."
Right.
That was me today though. I was telling Lewis, I'm like, I gotta go and get packing tape. I have to go to the post office. These have to get
Yeah.
out and get scanned before this storm hits.
See, but you're thinking ahead. Also, if you sell a bunch of stuff, print out that like scan form. It like gives you an option to print out. Like if you sell a bunch of stuff, you could print out like one piece of paper and take it to the post office. They just scan that piece of paper and everything gets scanned in.
I have to pee. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah,
Fancy.
it's useful.
I just put the shipping label on there and drop it in the parcel box.
Oh, okay. I always make sure they scan it. Just because
Well,
I
I
don't.
went at 5:30 today. So
Okay,
they were
that makes
closed
sense.
anyways.
That makes sense. Yeah, but if you ever go there and drop it off during hours on Whatnot on the right hand side, it'll say like I think it just says like scan sheet or something. You click that, and you can print it out, and then it's just a piece of paper with a barcode on it. And when they scan that, all of your packages get scanned in automatically, which is nice.
I didn't think it could get any easier.
They make it so it's so great. It's turning into my favorite platform to sell things on. And then you get your regulars, Sarah. You get your regulars, and
I know.
You making a lot of money on it? Are you making good money
I'm-
or?
I mean, Chris
Ish.
has been doing it longer, but I literally picked up some stuff I was gonna bring to Goodwill and just started selling them at like $5 a pop just to start getting attention. And I'm over $100 at the moment with like 3 lives and maybe 5 hours total worth of effort.
so
And
insane.
then they double it for whatever money you make in the first 7 days. So
Oh, that's cool.
it's nice.
You get that
because
money
I'm
right
away
already
too,
Sarah.
working for-
That double, like they it got put in my account already. The money.
Yeah, it was.
I
Like,
thought
they
it was
sent
gonna
me
take
an
a
email,
while.
and they were like, "Hey, you're up to this much. We'll double. Like, you got this much more time." Like, okay. I went live twice yesterday, so
We're still on YouTube.
Yeah.
yeah.
YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I know I've been joking a lot about the storm.
What do I hear? Drums.
Yeah, Dane has bought stuff from me. Wait, what did Dane just say? I have to pull this up. It's Jumanji. Somebody started playing Jumanji, Nick.
Are we still on
Oh.
YouTube?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
about to
I
sign
was
off.
gonna
but
say
I wanna see
Lewis
what-
just started a movie.
I want to
I
see
saw
I
what.
it.
do
so-
live in Jumanji. I told you.
Oh, Remy's Hurricane Milton episode is live right now. I've got to watch that
Oh,
after.
gosh.
I want to see what Nick said. I mean, what Dane said. Then we'll hop off here. Is that Kelsey Ray? Holy shit! No, it's not her.
I'm like obsessed with her now.
Kelsey, right? Yeah, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
join the bandwagon. I can't see Dane's comment. Why is the chat?
I was
anonymous?
high on TikTok Live for like 3 hours just watching this random. ass
She
shit the other
makes me
night.
high. Dane
Can't
said
wait,
it's so
can't wait
fun
to vote in this
going,
next election.
going on Chris's stream to spend $100 on cards, calling him daddy in front of complete strangers. I think I wrote in your thank you note. I think when I shipped your stuff, I think I put thank you, daddy.
Yes,
Did you get
all
your
three,
stuff yet,
baby.
Scott?
What stuff?
That you bought?
I don't know.
I think I put thank you, daddy, on yours too. All my friends, I always put thank you, daddy, except for Alex. I was afraid he was going to open it next to his son. Like, you have another son? Why is someone calling you daddy? Anyway, YouTube, thank you so much for watching the second to last ever episode of the No New Friends podcast. This is me signing off for the second to last time. It's pretty dramatic, huh? Bye, guys. Love you guys.